Last video was for the deep stack holders on the front side of the split draw. This one's for everybody else, and it's where it gets interesting. If you're carrying a handful of points, or none at all, the back half of the Colorado split is the door we cracked open at the end of the last video. Let's walk through it. Here's what most hunters assume about that random pool. They figure your points still buy a real edge in there, that a 10-point hunter draws way ahead of a 0-point hunter. The pile still rules, just in a different room. That's the reasonable assumption, and the reasonable assumption is wrong. A point for your application, and one extra entry per point held. On paper, that says a 3-point hunter should draw at 4-1 the 0-point rate, and a 10-point hunter at 11 times. Now, I ain't gonna bore you with the probability of it. Utah's run this same 50-50 split for decades, so we don't have to guess. We've got real results by point tier. Utah's actual numbers: the 3-point hunter draws about 1.7 times the 0-point rate. The 10-point hunter, 1.5. The random half runs flat, damn near point blind. You carry your bonus points through that door, and they buy you almost nothing. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're sitting on 8, maybe 10 points, and this feels like a slap. I hear you, but a stinging slap ain't the same as wrong. You're also thinking, Percival, your math is about as screwy as a $3 bill. And in most cases, you'd be right. But here's what you're not thinking through, and what Utah's numbers showed. This is driven by applicant counts. More 1 to 9-point hunters are applying for those same hunts than there are 10-point hunters by as much as 20 times, meaning you could have a 20-to-1 ratio of lower point hunters to 10-point hunters. Now, the light bulb should be going off. The sheer volume of low-point hunters offsets, by and large, the points a mid-range and high-points hunter has. Depending on how far the drift moves on a given hunt, can be more than just an offset in points. It could be an avalanche. Because here's the flip side, and it's a good one. If points barely move you on the back half, then a 5-point hunter walks through that door at damn near the same odds as a 15-point hunter. That unit you've read as a 20-year wait, or a flat never. That floor's the preference floor. The back half doesn't have one. And the proof is sitting right in Colorado's own applicant numbers. These numbers should get your attention. Chew on this for a bit. Let's take resident deer. 94 of every 100 applicants are under 10 points. The deep stack crowd, 15 and up, 4 in 100. Let that sink in. 4. Elk and pronghorn run the same shape. So, look at who's actually in that random pool. It's packed wall to wall with low-point hunters, because that's who the draw is when volume is accounted for. The deep stack holder already owns the better key. It's the preference side, where his pile still means everything. He doesn't lose that. He just doesn't gain a new edge over here on the random side. The back half wasn't built for him. It's the door for the 8 or 9 in 10 hunters who never had an invitation to the dance. You've been reading the right number, just off the wrong lock, but the door doesn't hang equally wide every year. Get a load of this. In 2028, the first year it exists, only the trailblazers have fully reacted yet. The crowd's still reading that old floor, playing last year's numbers or staying home until the dust settles. So the numbers we ran against Utah's History Project, the median Colorado code up around 11% that first year. Then results published for 2028. The 2029 crowd sees where the doors opened. They flood in. That same code drops to about 4%. By 2030, around 3, and it settles there. There's a predictable gold rush and then decay of the open window over the coming year or two. We go deep on that in Reading the Vein. 60% of the opportunity gone in a single year. 2028 is the wide open year. Wait for 2029 to make sure it's real, and you're paying much closer to steady state odds to learn what Utah already proved. So if you're low or a mid-points holder, the move isn't to wait. It's to find the units worth your application and put in that first year. A tag report will show you which Colorado codes your points already reach and which ones the back half cracks open. The full read, when to play the random half, when to burn instead, that's in our ebook, Reading the Vein, over at thetagprospector.com. And if you're just starting your pile, the free 0 to 1 report's in the description. Next video, we run the rest of the numbers. How many codes actually open up and anticipate where the crowd swings next? 'Cause when they flood one door, partner, they leave another one wide open. Find your vein, thetagprospector.com.